former governors that are going to be serving as our honorary chairs of our Route 66 Centennial Commission. Honored to have Governor George Nye, Governor David Walters, and Governor Frank Keating here with us today. And look forward to telling you more about their role here in just a bit. And certainly, I want to recognize our Oklahoma Route 66 Centennial Commission that are really doing the work day to day. We have been meeting for a couple of years now. I want to thank all of them for what they do. So if our Route 66 commissioners who are here, see Shelley Zumwalt and Tim Gatz on the front row, if they would please stand, please, and be honored. They are putting in a lot of work because this is a really big job. So again, want to thank them. And certainly, without her leadership, a lot of this would be very difficult to pull off. Carrie Barrick, the Oklahoma Route 66 coordinator, who works for the Department of Commerce under our Main Street program. Carrie, thank you for your leadership. One of the points that certainly I want to make is Oklahoma is proudly leading the way for Route 66 Centennial celebrations across the nation, not just across our 77 counties, but across the nation. Oklahoma truly is leading the way when it comes to promoting Route 66. We're setting the stage for an unforgettable series of events along the Mother Road that will showcase its unique heritage and history. With more than 400 drivable miles of Route 66, the longest stretch in the nation, far more than Texas, have to make that point. Yes, you can clap for that. Oklahoma is the world's destination. I think that's a key point. We are the world's destination for the ultimate Route 66 road trip. As we prepare for our Centennial celebration, it's essential as well to reflect on Route 66 historical importance to Oklahoma. Again, called the Main Street of America, the Mother Road, it's played a vital role in Oklahoma's history and development. Certainly Tulsa's own Cyrus Avery plays a very large part in that. And again, have a number of events around Cyrus Avery honoring him, their family in the Tulsa area, Oklahoma City area, and everywhere in between on this road. As we celebrate its centennial, we honor the legacy of a highway that has connected communities and cultures for over 100 years. During the Great Depression, this highway served as an economic lifeline, providing a route for countless individuals seeking better opportunities. And tourists now from all over the world continue to make Oklahoma a destination to travel to and stop to experience our proud state's history and hospitality. Just hosted the Czech Republic Route 66 Association at the state capitol last month. Yes, there is such a thing, the Czech Republic Route 66 Association. Again, I'm preaching to the choir here because I see a lot of roadies in this room. You all know how big of a deal this is to our international tourists across the country. As chair of the Oklahoma Route 66 Centennial Commission, since it's been established in 2019, I've seen firsthand the incredible work being done throughout our state. And I want to pinpoint a few of those updates. We have made several notable enhancements, including the renovation of US 281 Bridgepoint Bridge, which is the Pony Bridge in Hinton. And Tim Gatz and ODOT is here. Please give them a round of applause. We got our Turnpike Authority here as well. We couldn't do this, and Shelley Zumwalt with our Department of Tourism is also helping lead the way, and she knows this as well. We can't do this without our transportation departments and authorities here in the state of Oklahoma. Tim also serves on the National Route 66 board, so he's a really big deal the next time you get to shake his hand. Additionally, Route 66 pavement markers and signs guides travelers along this historic route. If you haven't noticed that, over the last few years, we've put up all new brown historic Route 66 signs across the state on interstates to get them off the interstates onto Route 66, which I think is a very key point. Again, could not have done that without Tim's leadership. So Tim, thank you again for doing that for us. I'd also have to mention the economic impact of this road, particularly for the state representatives and state senators that are here, because they have earmarked a lot of money for Route 66 and deserve a ton of credit for this. And they've done it because of the economic impact, one of the reasons, because of the economic impact of this most famous road in the entire world. The Route 66 Centennial campaign is expected to boost local economies along the highways significantly. Half of all sales tax today, think about this, half of all sales tax today is collected from a community that has a portion of Route 66, which is pretty powerful. And we're still a year and a half, 2 years away from the Centennial. The influx of visitors certainly will create job opportunities in various sectors, including hospitality, retail, and tourism services, which I know Shelley is very excited about. When they give their travel and tourism updates year after year, we continue to meet benchmark after benchmark and goal after goal. And we know Route 66 is going to lead us to have even better years over the next couple of years because of the 100-year birthday. And that really is the key point. We're increasing the significance and eyeballs and foot traffic on this road. One of the reasons is because of the community grants and what our legislators have done the last couple of years. It's been a complete game changer for the state of Oklahoma. To support our communities, we passed the Route 66 commission legislation a couple years ago. This is over $6.6 million that is being invested each year into Route 66. These legislators deserve a round of applause for that type of commitment. No state, and I mean no state, is investing these kind of dollars into Route 66. In its inaugural round, again, as I said, the Oklahoma Route 66 grant program successfully funded 11 projects across the state with a second round of grants to open next month. These grants are pivotal, as I said, for the 44 communities along Route 66, empowering them to invest and prepare for the upcoming Centennial celebration. So again, if you're a community on Route 66, I know you've heard of our Route 66 grant program. Shelley Zumwalt, others in this room also serve on that commission. It truly is a game changer for these 44 communities and is going to further set us apart moving into the future. So as we approach the Centennial, we anticipate these grants will continue to foster substantial economic benefits, including increasing sales tax revenue, as I said. We live or die on sales tax as a state. I say it in every speech that I give because I need taxpayers to understand how important sales tax is to the state of Oklahoma. Our governors certainly do. Without creating sales tax in these communities, we cannot pay for police and fire departments. We can't operate our cities without sales tax. We arguably are the most sales tax dependent state in the country. And it's one more reason why Route 66 is so valuable for us, because it creates the sales tax that we need in these 44 communities to operate those 44 communities and to have safe communities with our police and fire departments. So with so much to do between now and 2026, we have found our need to call in the support, call in a little support from former leaders that we have in the state of Oklahoma, and the wisdom certainly that they have. They've been in the foxholes. They've seen it all inside of this Capitol and across our 77 counties. So today I'm excited to announce our Centennial honorary chairs. Again, Governor George Nye, Governor David Walters, Governor Frank Keating, Governor Brad Henry, and Governor Mary Fallin. Each certainly brings a wealth of experience and dedication to our state, having served Oklahoma with distinction, each and every one of them. And they're the three that showed up today, so they deserve a round of applause again for that. Brad Henry and Mary Fallin are both very fired up for this. They are both out of the state, cannot join us. That's the only reason they are not here. But they certainly wanted to pass along thanking each and every one of you for stepping up and being here with us today. So we look forward certainly to their guidance and insights, again, as we commemorate this historic milestone. I have the privilege of introducing each and every one of them. They're going to give a few comments, and the first distinction that I have is to the privilege of introducing our first honorary chair in the room, Governor George Nye. Governor Nye, extensive record in public service is marked by several historic milestones, and you know these, including being the first in Oklahoma, this is impressive, first in Oklahoma to win all 77 counties in an election, and serving as both the 17th and 22nd governor of the state of Oklahoma. Trey Thompson knows all of these talking points. This is the historical. I mean, these are historical milestones that Trey knows how impressive these are. His passion, you all know his passion for Oklahoma's development and remarkable legacy is enhanced by the state infrastructure, making him certainly a leader who will guide us into celebrating this significant occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce to the stage Governor George Nye. Podium is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. I want to deny I was not present when they created the highway system for the United States. I know that if the television people would cut this out of their broadcast, I just got the privilege of celebrating my 97th birthday Sunday. And I say that because I want you to know I'm proud of the past. And when I went to the closet today to think of going with all the former governors, I thought, what are they going to be wearing? I said, where am I going? The blue room, so I'll wear a blue shirt, a blue tie. Our son got married here in the blue room. I offered, then I looked and I saw this hanging. This is a Highway 66 shirt I've had for years and years and years. And I wanted to publicly, now you can include this, I wanted to publicly say, I wore this because it tells the story, to me, it tells the story of what the Lieutenant Governor has been saying, what the Highway 66 means to this state. I think it's important to point out that, as he pointed out, it's more miles of Highway 66 in Oklahoma than any other state that's on the system. But I also remember the song. And I used to get your kicks on 66. It goes from St. Louis. It's more than, how many miles?
400, Governor.
No, how many miles? The whole.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah. Thousands of miles.
2,400.
2,000 miles all the way. It goes from Chicago to L.A. It goes through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City. It's mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingston, Barstow, San Bernardino, and it goes all the way.
Yeah.
As Lieutenant Governor, I had the privilege of representing this state around the world, trying to get jobs created here, trying to get tourists here, trying to get international conventions here. And one time, Donna and I went to Germany, and I've never forgotten this. We went to Germany, and they had a reception for us. And there were probably 300 people there, and we dressed up because we were representing the state of Oklahoma. And when we arrived, every one of them was in a cowboy outfit. They had on cowboy hats, they had on cowboy boots, and they sang Get Your Kicks on Route 66. And they told me that they were a group that every year came to the United States, and they went on chartered buses from Chicago to L.A. on Highway 66. They didn't get on the turnpike. They didn't get on the interstate system. They stayed on Highway 66. And their favorite place from Chicago to L.A. was when they were going through Oklahoma. And these 300 Germans told me that. It's amazing. It's our image. And I was just going to say, if the shades were open, just look out there. There it is. Highway 66 goes by the mansion, by the state capitol. It goes through the capital city. It's the heart of our state. It's from, just think, you come up around Commerce and Miami. You come in up there, Miami, but they mispronounce it. Down in Florida, they don't know how to pronounce our name. And you go out to Eric, Elk City, just think, all the towns that you go through. And then I will say that Highway 66 is so critical. And I'm very proud that this part that goes by the state capitol is named after Clara Looper. I think that's very neat. Right here, the street, right in front of this capitol is named for Clara Looper. But it's a historical event. And just to think that people from around the world that come to the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So if you're traveling from the Atlantic to the Pacific, also if you're traveling from Canada to Mexico, the crossroads of the nation is right here, right here. Then I close with this. When I was elected governor in 1979, I went to my first governor's meeting in Philadelphia, the National Governors Association, and they had the new governors sit here, and 5 sitting governors were here at a table, and the other governors were out here, and there's nobody else in the room. No press, no security, no spouse, no secretary, just former governors, because the program was, what do people expect of a governor? That was the name of the program, and only governors were in the room. The first statement made by a sitting governor to a new governor was, the most frequent request you will get is, fix my road. And I believe that. And that's why it's critical that if we're trying to appeal to the nation, if we're trying to appeal to the world, we always have to fix our road. And Highway 66 is the classic example of what economic development, what highways mean to economic development, as was pointed out. And as a former governor with Governor Keating and Governor Walters, who we spend so much time, we always remember that the people want their highways, they want their roads. And what we want as a governor are the roads that bring the people to the state so that they help the economy of those who live here, not just those who are traveling through. So remember this, get your kicks on Route 66.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best 90-year-old travel salesman in the entire country. Unquestionably. Thank you, Governor. It is always a treat. Next up, Governor Walters. Proud to have Governor David Walters serve as one of our Centennial honorary chairs, known for significant contributions to our state's economic development. I work very closely with our Department of Commerce, and we talk about, again, the significant milestones in your time in office when it comes to economic development. His deep commitment to progress
a review of the history, and I'm sure Frank's going to cover a little history. I'm just going to talk about more of a personal impact on Route 66, because I grew up on a farm about 1.25 miles off of Route 66 in western Oklahoma, just north of Canute, Oklahoma, a little town of 300. I moved out, it was 299. I mean, it was a fairly stable community. I think today it's maybe 500. It's not a very big town. But Route 66 went right smack down the middle of that town. And, you know, as a young kid, I was impressed by how nicely paved our main street was, and it had a lot of traffic, but didn't realize that, in fact, it was part of this amazing 2,500 mile historic development. Like Governor Nye, and I'm sure Governor Keating, internationally, you always hear a lot about Western culture, but you also hear a lot about Route 66, and particularly the Germans. They're completely fixated about this. But they recognize that, and they celebrate it as sort of a kind of a statement of freedom, the ability to get on a motorbike or in a car and drive that entire length and enjoy so much of our history. The Canute history is, it went right smack through the town. Our community center was essentially our Phillips 66 station. And I remember they would always have folding chairs because literally that's where everybody gathered. You'd go in there, you'd get a Dr. Pepper out of the box, you'd put some peanuts in it, and you enjoyed yourself, and you learned all about the latest news in the town. From where we lived, you were up on a hill, and you could literally see the traffic at night. And you didn't have computers, you didn't have much in regards to television, but you would sit there and with the family and enjoy the cool evening and watch the truck traffic. We couldn't see much of the cars, but you could see these trucks moving back and forth on Route 66. As a rambunctious young man, Route 66 is where I hid my illicit liquor before I went home. There was a billboard, and I had a special spot where I would hide that along with my friends, and nobody ever found it, I don't think. My mother may have known about it. I don't know. I don't think so. The most exciting thing about this for me, though, is that all of this new traffic is going to give a historical marker that my little town of Canute erected on my behalf in Canute, and they put it in the median of the highway, or where Route 66 passes right by it. The unfortunate thing about the marker is that whoever designed it decided to use the same granite that they use in the adjoining cemetery. And so the granite is that red speckly stuff that comes from Willis granite. And so I sat right outside the cemetery in the turn-in drive to the Canute Cemetery. And, they still separate the Catholics out there, Frank, from the Protestants. So we have the Holy Family side and the Protestant side. So they put this marker up, and they had a now faded etching of me and a little bio in there, because I'm the first, I was the first governor, only governor actually, west of Oklahoma City. Henry Bellman was west of I-35, but not west of Oklahoma City. And so they were quite proud of that. They also recently put my name on the water tower in about a 12 font, so you can't, I don't know what that's about. But so the marker, it was a great honor, except most people think it's a tombstone. And every time you go out there, I swear, if you drive down Route 66 as part of the Centennial or otherwise, pull off the Canute exit, go to the Canute Cemetery, check out that stretch, and you will find plastic flowers inevitably all around that marker, and also some broken beer bottles, because it's a great target when the kids come through there throwing things. So anyway, that's my personal relationship. Is it was fundamental to our town. It was fundamental to our family. We had no idea what the significance was. After the interstate bypassed it and it became the service road out there, it was the way we moved farm equipment from one farm to the next, traveling down Route 66 and I'm sure an illegally wide Tim tractor with implements on it, and with all the whatever little traffic there was trying to get around us. So it has a personal relationship to me, and I'm just delighted to serve as co-chair, and I congratulate Shelley and Tim and the leadership of this commission, and I'm delighted to serve with you all to celebrate this. Thank you.
See, everything's a roadside attraction on Route 66, you know. I'm hitting the cemetery and, and the illegal liquor. That's right. Governor Walters, thank you. Appreciate you being here. And finally, our last honorary chair that is here with us today, Governor Frank Keating. Certainly privileged to have Governor Keating with us. Served Oklahoma from 1995 to 2003, and distinguished by his extensive career in law enforcement and public service, which I know everybody here knows a lot about, which includes roles as an FBI agent and U.S. attorney. His tenure as governor was marked by significant advancements also in economic development and public safety, among other accomplishments. His leadership during the Oklahoma City bombing, as we all know, exemplified his commitment to the state and ability to bring our community together. He also had to bring the community together to put the dome on top of this state capitol. Took leadership on both sides of that, Governor. Thank you for that. So it is my honor to welcome Governor Keating to share a few words.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, well, I was attending the Porter Peach Festival when David Walters was governor, and I was so proud and impressed with myself. And I had a convertible. My wife wasn't with me. My older brother was driving the convertible. My golden retriever was in the back with me, and when we finished, this guy in a tractor tried to run me down. I mean, there were no Republicans around in those days at all. Tried to run me down. And a gentleman, when all of us stopped and started looking for peaches at the Porter Peach Festival, a gentleman came up to me and said, you were in the parade, weren't you? And I said, yes, sir, I was. I said, a voter. And he said, what's the dog's name? And I said, Sooner. And he went, huh. And what's your name? I said, Frank Keating. And he went, well, I remember the dog's name, but I won't remember yours. And he wandered off into the crowd. True story. But in any event, you know, one thing I did when I moved back to Oklahoma to run for governor was read every book that I could on the history of Oklahoma. There was a seminal volume on the history of Oklahoma. I welcome and recommend all of us here follow on and do some of that reading. There are 2 new volumes from a gentleman who teaches at OU that were completed in the last 5 years, as I recall, that are just wonderful. Lots of color and maps and paintings and the like. But that got me focused, going from Canute to Binger, whatever the community might be, that we need signs to advertise what this town is. And I started that, as the town would pay half the cost of the sign and the state would pay the other half. But to say, you know, like, C. Guthrie, Territorial Capital, Route 66, I mean, all these wonderful stories of the wonderful history of the state that was populated by a number of land runs, those are things we all ought to know about. And for me, growing up in Tulsa, we had a ranch property not too far from Route 66, very close in the eastern part of the state. And here we have, just within a stone's throw of Route 66 in Logan County, a ranch property. And driving every weekend to that place to see the round barn and to see the skeleton of a long abandoned service station, I think those kinds of sights and sounds and scents are really cool. And I want to thank Trait because his focus on the history of Oklahoma, and George and I, he didn't mention, he made Oklahoma our official state song, which was great. And I don't know, David Walters, he didn't get me, and I didn't file on him when that tractor almost got me. But nonetheless, we, Republican and Democrat alike, the former governors, we all get along extremely well, and we are thrilled to be able to co-chair this, as honorary co-chairs, this effort. In conclusion, let me say that a book that you've got to read, and this event did not occur while Route 66 was up and running, but somehow or other, a 10-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy rode their ponies, the Abernathy boys, to Washington, D.C. and to New York. Imagine that. You talk about explorers. These little boys, of course, their parents would be filed on if this were done today, but these two little boys literally rode their ponies to D.C. and, of course, to New York. They wanted to meet the president. They didn't know Taft was the president. And they, yes, sir. And then they wanted to see Theodore Roosevelt. That's the only guy that really cared about, the man who signed our statehood proclamation. And they did that. Well, one of the horses died, bought another horse. But think about these two little boys, a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, drove home. Now, Route 66 wasn't here yet. There were primitive roads, the dirt roads, and maybe a few paved roads. But I find that incredible that the explorers of those and the fun in those young boys and the mischief in those young boys to ride to New York and to drive back, the two of them together, a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, just incredible. But we have so much to celebrate, and you guys, as a result of your commitment, are going to celebrate. Thank you, legislators, for your role in making this happen, and Tim, you're as well. All of you guys are so indescribably indispensable to tell our wonderful story, and we're going to do it here. Thank you. I appreciate you.
It is pretty special to have, again, three governors sharing remarks about their time, about Route 66. And I think it has to be noted, we just had three governors get up in front of a podium. That was less than 15 minutes. Every state rep and state senator here, they wouldn't have been able to pull that off. But I can't thank you all enough. Really, you all have made today very special. So we want to thank you for that. So now, second part of our press conference is our Centennial logo reveal. Let me say, I know I have a few notes here to talk about because this was pretty special the way that we created this. In August of 2023, students at the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Oklahoma were given the opportunity to develop a logo and brand system to mark the 2026 Centennial milestone on Route 66. If you all know the Gaylord College at OU, one of the top mass communication colleges in the country, world class, very good brand for the state. We reached out to them. They have a number of clients, real world clients. They do projects for other private sector and public sector companies in Oklahoma. And it has been such an amazing experience to work with the Gaylord College. Reese Martin, who is here, the president of our Route 66 Association, we talk about this a lot, the connection of this road between generations. This is not just a road for baby boomers. This is a road that multiple generations are fascinated with today. And to have the next generation, because all of us here, we want to hand that baton off to future generations that are going to continue to preserve and promote Route 66. But to have, again, students, I'll call them kids, in college that have gotten excited and passionate about Route 66 means a lot to us as the Route 66 Centennial Commission, because that's a big goal of ours. It's not just promoting this road, fixing this road, but it's handing the baton off to future generations that are going to continue to keep it the most famous road in the entire world. So with initial input from members from the Oklahoma Route 66 Centennial Committee, these students eagerly set up to work designing their logos. We took them all across the state as well. They've done a number of road trips, west to east and east to west. It's been great. Over the course of the semester, the students worked diligently to create and design that would visually communicate the significance of this celebration. Eventually, one design came to the top. I am proud to share that Oklahoma's Route 66 Centennial logo was designed by Lauren Cooper. Lauren, where are you? They're right here. Please stand. So last month, Lauren graduated magna cum laude from OU with a BFA in visual communications and is here with us today. So again, Lauren, Thank you so much. You're going to be up here in a second, but one more round of applause for Lauren. The logo represents not just our collective efforts, but the bright future of Route 66 to a new generation, as I said, for those invested in the Mother Road's continued legacy. So now it is my pleasure to invite the Oklahoma Route 66 Centennial Commission. I would also like the state representatives and state senators that are here as well to come up to the front and park yourself to either side of the dramatic backdrop here. Lauren, please come up as well. And our governors, our honorary chairs, excuse me, thank you. Who else are we? We good? Got everybody? Okay. Where's Lauren? Lauren? All right, now how this is going to work, it's like a movie theater. We're pulling the curtain apart here. So let's move separate. Okay, so you've been trained. Okay, all right. So you know, I'm just dramatically setting this up for the, you want to do a 3, 2, 1? All right. 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Thank you. And again, another round of applause for Lauren at Gaylord College. We will take some photos after. I've got a few more points, but then I'm going to have everybody else come back up. But please take your seats one more time. Let the cameras get this a little bit, and then we will we'll take as many pictures as people want here in a second. There are a few people here that may even be lucky enough to get the lapel pin before you leave today. I know a few state representatives and senators have the lapel pins, but I assure you we will have plenty of swag over the next year and a half the official merchandise of our Centennial efforts that we will be promoting. And that's really kind of one of my ending action items in closing here. Again, reiterate the importance of the heritage of this road. We've all talked about it. But looking ahead, we have a series of Centennial celebrations. Again, today's the kickoff. We've done a lot of work. As I said, the Centennial Commission's been working for a good year and a half already. But this is really the official kickoff to the next year and a half, 2 years, as we lead up to November 11th, 2026. Put that in your calendars right now, folks. November 11th, 2026. That is the official. Again, the official birthday. But I encourage everyone to participate and celebrate with us. Mark your calendars again. June 6, 2026 will be one of the birthday bashes that we will be having, and November 11th, 2026. We will have many other events. There will be an official calendar that the Route 66 Centennial Commission will be unveiling with events throughout the 44 communities along Route 66. But those are two dates in particular that everybody needs to get on their calendars, June 6, 26, and November 11th and 26. But you can start the journey today. An official Route 66 passport that is provided by, thanks to your Oklahoma Travel and Tourism Department. If you have not seen our Route 66 passport, good luck getting one. They're so popular. We're constantly printing these. But thanks to Shelley and the rest of their team, we have digital passports that can be accessed via the Travel OK app and travelok.com as well. Again, our Route 66 passport is just for Oklahoma. There's an international passport out there that has every state. Ours is much cooler. Again, go get our Route 66 passport. We also invite you to join us in making a meaningful impact by donating to help us continue our mission to celebrate and preserve, again, these 400 iconic miles. To donate, we have a website. It's official, okroute66.com, okroute66.com. Every donation, no matter the size, helps to ensure that our cultural landmarks are preserved for future generations. The money that we are going to be raising, and we are going to be raising private dollars, is going to be money that's going to be invested in projects along Route 66. Again, those are very fun projects that we also are very excited about unveiling to you in future months. So stay tuned for updates by visiting the website and follow us on social media. We have social media channels as well for Centennial. Join us in celebrating again Route 66 legacy and drive towards a vibrant future. The journey, ladies and gentlemen, starts in Oklahoma. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. That now concludes. You can come get your pictures with the governors. So you got 3 of them here and pictures in front of, again, Lauren's sign and our Gaylord College. Thank you again so much for being here. Thank you.